So we are now turning, guys, to discuss the most two important parts of our Part A lesson. We're going to be looking into the importance as well as the remuneration for natural resource as a factor of production, which is very important. So what is the significance of natural resources, guys, in the economy? Why do we consider natural resource to be an important, as I alluded in the early or at the beginning of our lesson, that natural resources is important as a factor of production? Why is it important as a factor of production? Guys, firstly, natural resources, it serves as an input for production. So, what does this mean? It means without natural resources, we cannot have production of goods and services that are required in the economy in order for us to satisfy our unlimited needs and wants. So, natural resources are used to serve as inputs for production. We're going to make an example of oil is used to produce petrol and gas, meaning without oil, we can't produce petrol and gas. Without timber, which we get from the tree, we can't produce tables. Without water that we need, we can't produce cold drinks. Do you understand? Without lettuce provided to us by nature, we can't produce burger. For those who love burgers without lettuce, and so forth. So that is basically what we mean, that they're important because they also serve as inputs for production. And also, as we alluded to with electricity, without coal, we can't produce electricity. Without water, we can't produce electricity. Do you understand? So we need this as input for production. The second importance of natural resource, guys, it provides opportunities for international trade. It allows countries to trade, meaning what? Surplus or deficit can be imported or exported, meaning if we have too much gold, if we have a surplus of gold, we can export that gold as we do to the rest of the world so that we can receive money. There is no point of South Africa sitting on a large deposit of gold while we do not do anything about that. We can't eat that gold. So in order for us to eat, we need money. A country needs money in order to do what? In order to provide for necessary goods and services. These are the basic needs. So the government will export gold to the rest of the world so that we receive money in order to survive as a nation, as well as ensuring that we're able to participate in international trade. Thirdly, the importance of natural resource, guys, and as far as agriculture, forestry, and fisheries are concerned, they offer employment opportunities. You see, when you talk about agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and others, which are the key sectors that we find in the or that deals with natural resources in South Africa, in particular in our economic context, they provide employment opportunities. And fourthly, and talk about mining. So mining, why is it important as part of the factor, as a part of natural resources when we discuss natural resources? Guys, most important sector in South African economy is mining, because South Africa has been dominant in mining, and we have alluded and indicated that we are the largest gold exporter and producer in the world. We also happen to be the largest exporter and producer of manganese. All these fall under the mining sector. The mining sector contributes heavily to the gross domestic product, or GDP, of the country, and we will explore this in detail when we do the national accounts aggregates, when we do the gross domestic product as well as the gross national income, when we do our next part of our curriculum. Right. So what is important, again, guys, is for you to remember these four important reasons why natural resources are considered to be significantly important. As far as remuneration is concerned, guys, remuneration, as we alluded in grade 10, the remuneration for natural resources is rent. That's what you were exposed to. What you needed to understand was what is rent as a remuneration for factor of production. Rent, in a nutshell, in general, is a minimum amount of money that an owner of natural resource must receive for use of the resource. And I know when you hear rent, some of you are already thinking, yes, the landlord, we have the back rooms at home, so the person must pay rent and so forth. 100% correct. A person that is renting a room at your home is leasing a portion of the use of your land. You are giving them that portion of a land for a certain period to use that land as their home. As a result, they must pay you rent. That is an income that you must receive. Okay. Okay. So the example is the rent for the land use. People who are leasing out properties, they are actually not leasing the building. They are renting. They are renting what? A portion of the land, and as a result, they must pay rent for it. So we have two types of incomes that are considered for natural resources. We have what we call economic rent. And what is economic rent? In a nutshell, this is the extra amount earned by a resource, meaning e.g. the land, by virtue of its present use. We call that economic rent. And royalties, guys, a royalty is a payment to an owner for the ongoing use of their asset or property. So the term royalties is quite broad because it may refer to patents, copyright works, franchises, or natural resources. So in this context, we refer to the royalties in the natural resources context as a factor of production. And the most popular and common royalties are what you call the mining royalties, meaning for a mining company, since the mining company does not own the land for which they mine, they are given mining rights to mine in that particular land. As a result, they must pay rent in a form of mining royalties for as long as the mining rights are still in existence. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us in this lesson. That was part one. We will explore in detail shortly part two of our topic one of natural resources, which will explore in detail the factors that influence the price of natural resources. If there are any questions, please do forward them and we will answer them. Okay? Great.